Hello and welcome to the ABC Kids Expo, the new exhibitor onboarding web briefing. I'm Irene Mummy, the new account manager of sales and operations at the ABC Kids Expo, partnering with Jefferson Davis from Competitive Edge. Unlike other shows, ABC Kids Expo doesn't just rent you a booth. That's not our goal. We want to make sure that we give you a roadmap to make it a productive and profitable experience. The ABC Kids Expo commitment is to guide our first-time exhibitors through the process, from registration to the end of the show and beyond, almost like the Toy Story. The Exhibitor Success and ROI Center is located on our website. You can go to Learn More. You'll see the picture there on the side. And under Exhibitors, you will see the Exhibitor Success and ROI tab at the end of the selections. The center will give you the opportunity to view live and replayable webinars, go over how-tos, exhibiting articles, and downloadable tools, prepare your strategic planning exercise, as well as ask Jefferson questions from the site. You can bookmark and share and access at http://www.theabcshow.com/exhibitor_tips.asp for those of you who aren't online and can't see it right now and want to mark it down.
All right, Irene, let's do a quick poll. Oftentimes we find that we've got quite a mix of exhibitors on this web briefing, so I would like to launch a poll to find out what types of exhibitors are with us today. So you'll see on the screen now the poll is live, and you have 4 different options. The first one is it's you and your company's first time exhibiting. The second one, it's your first time, but your company's been here, so maybe you're managing the program for the first time. The third option is it's your company, but maybe you've exhibited with us before with another company, or maybe you and your company have exhibited before. So go ahead, click the radio dial button that applies. This will help Irene and I, determine where to really put the emphasis on our content as we work through our web briefing. So I'll give you just a moment to complete. On 3, 2, 1. Irene, I'm going to flash the results so you can see the mix of exhibitors that we have here today. And it looks like 7 out of 10 it's them and their company's first time. And surprisingly, 25% of the audience are not new exhibitors. And that's fine that you're here with us today. Okay, so thanks for your feedback on the poll. And back to you, Irene.
All right, the new exhibitors are very important to ABC Kids Expo, ! But I want to change that. I want to change it to say exhibitors are important, period. New exhibitors are very important, period. You are the reason attendees come to the show. They want to see what's new. New exhibitors remind us the industry is alive and well. We want to make sure we do everything possible to help you succeed. Here at the ABC Kids Expo, we have an exhibit account management team, and that team consists of Denise Gamboa and Becky Arcon. Denise covers the company names 0 through 9 and A through K, and her contact information is on this webpage. And also Becky Arcon handles L through Z, and her contact information is on this webpage. Marketing and sponsorship opportunities are also very important to making sure you have a successful show. So we also included Deanna's contact information on this webpage.
All right, so for those of you who haven't been with me on a webinar before, I have the honor of working with the ABC Kids Expo for the last few years as their trade show expert of choice. My background is pretty simple. I always tease people. I say, I don't know much, but I know shows. I've been around trade shows now for over 30 years. Like all of you, I've spent my own time, my own money, and I've exhibited at over 200 shows in this time frame. And for me, a trade show was never a place where I just kind of showed up, flied the company flag, scanned some badges, handed out some tchotchkes, and went home. I was always in the position where I had to do basically make $1 do the work of 10. And because I'm a big believer in structure and process, I've been on the hunt for what are the critical success factors and how do we bring structure and process so we don't have to recreate the wheel from show to show. And I'm happy to say at this point, of those companies where we've done tracking, between my companies and my clients, we've been able to generate, now we're pushing close to $800 million in trade show results. So I know one thing for sure: trade shows work if you see them properly and you execute them properly. And that's what we really want to take you by the hand and walk you through today here, is how to view them and how to execute them. Okay, so here's the problem for most exhibitors. One of the reasons why they struggle to really get the results they need and deserve is 95% of the pre-show time is spent on logistics. What I mean by that is get the space, get the booth, get the graphics, get the products, get the people, ship it and fly it to Las Vegas, set it up, tear it down, send it home, and do all that on time and on budget. And we often call that pre-show planning. I call that dealing with logistics. The problem is, if you spend the majority of your time on logistics, the only thing it's going to guarantee is that your booth, your products, and your people show up. It's not going to guarantee that you'll get anything from the big investment of time and money you're making in the show. Okay, so if you want to generate maximum value and maximum return on investment from your exhibiting program, there are 5 critical success factors. And let me go over these with you and then walk you through our program. The first one is defining your outcomes. As Stephen Covey said in his great book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, begin with the end in mind. So this means you've got to sit down and define what success looks like for you at closing time, 3, 6, 9 months after the show. Then you have to set goals and turn them into workable action plans. And finally, you got to take advantage of the many opportunities that the ABC Kids Expo presents for your company. Begin with the end in mind. Clarity is power. Focus is power. And only 1 out of 4 exhibitors go into trade shows with written goals backed up with written action plans. If you want to throw yourself in the top 20% right now, take care of this success factor. Number 2, selective attraction. The ABC Kids Expo attracts a lot of buyers. And there's 2 ideas. Number 1, not all those buyers are your ideal visitor. 1, and 2, you can't handle all those buyers. So we got to really think about, for you, who is your target visitor? What is your value proposition? Why out of 6, 7, 800 booths should they come visit you, right? And then what are you going to do between now and showtime to identify and attract enough of the right people to your exhibit? If you get enough of the right people to your exhibit, you will win not only at the ABC Kids Expo, but any show you do. Number 3, the visitor experience. You've got to stand outside of your exhibit and look at it through the eyes of a buyer, through the eyes of a stranger. And you've got to make sure that your booth and the way you're displaying, presenting, and demonstrating your products, and your booth staff, you've got to make sure that those 3 things are in perfect harmony to deliver an interactive visitor experience that gets the visitor to commit to a clear next action. Number 3. Number 4, whatever orders you happen to write on the show floor are the low-hanging fruit. What you can get over time will blow your mind if you have a good lead management process in place. So you got to think about, what information do you need to capture to truly qualify a lead? You got to develop a quick qualification process, meaning the questions you're going to ask, and you have to have a tool something to capture the best information, and then you got to follow up to convert leads to sales. And number 5, measurement and learning. There's an old saying, what gets measured gets done. I will add, what gets measured gets improved also. So you've got to come up with some metrics, a way to measure how well did you execute your exhibit, where and how did you generate value for your company, and did you get a return on investment? And finally, from that is learning from the experience. You should never do the same show twice. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be in the same show twice. I'm saying that every show you should be getting better and better and better and continually improving the execution of your exhibit. So I would ask you a question at this moment in time on this web briefing. If you had to score your current performance in these 5 areas on a 1 to 5 scale, a 5, very effective, a 1, ineffective, how would you score yourself? Go to your workbook right now, jot down your answers on a 1 to 5 scale in these 5 areas. And here's the idea. Anywhere that you score below a 5 is the area that you've got to focus on improving. And for many of you, it might be all 5. For some of you, it might be only a few of these areas. Okay, so here's the promise. If you do these 5 things well, you will succeed at every show you do. Here's the warning. If you neglect or avoid or half step or skip over any one or any combination of these 5, you're going to limit the results you get from shows. And we want to make sure that you are armed and ready to address all 5. That's why we're doing this. So, as part of your program with ABC, we're doing something which is game-changing. There are no other shows in the retail space that do anything close to what ABC is giving you to succeed. So you're going to receive at timed intervals 5 emails. These emails are going to chunk down these success factors and give you quick exercises on how to address them. You'll see July 26th, August 9th, August 23rd, September 6th, September 20th. Here's my big recommendation. Put a star on your calendar to take an hour and a half on each one of those days. When these emails come in, download them, print them, get together with your team, and do these exercises. Okay? Knowledge in and of itself is not power. Action is power. If you will do these 5 things, you're going to thrust yourself into the top 5% of exhibitors in any show you do. You will be setting a foundation for success. These are the critical success factors. And I've spent 26 years as a consultant trainer developing and applying these with clients, and we've pulled almost $800 million in shows by addressing these 5. Okay, and by the way, this program here that ABC has given you is essentially very similar to that if you called me and said, hey, Jefferson, I want you to work with me to help me optimize my show. These are the same type of things I would do. The only difference is you would pay me around $10,000. ABC is giving it to you for free. Do not take these exercises lightly. Okay, they are game changers. Next, we're not just giving you exercises here, we're giving you implementation tools. You'll notice on the left of the screen, we're giving you an exhibit cost control tool, which is a really slick integrated spreadsheet that you can download on the ESRC, Exhibitor Success and ROI Center. Dump all your money in there. Not only will it help you manage your money, but it gives you tips on where and how you can save money. Number 2, the 16-week planning tool. That is the centerpiece. Most of you will fly to Las Vegas. And the reason you'll land safely in Vegas is because your pilot has a checklist. If your pilot didn't have a checklist, you might land in Kuala Lumpur or somewhere, right? So download the 16-week planning tool, put your data in it and use it. It balances logistical operational stuff with the strategic stuff. And finally, the third tool is the exhibit and financial performance metrics tool. This is going to give you a practical set of performance, value, and ROI analytics. Enter your numbers, they'll self-calculate. It's got a built-in dashboard, which is going to show you how you performed. Again, these 3 tools are part of a regular $10,000 program. ABC is giving you this for free. Why? Because they care. Why? Because they want you to succeed. Why? Because they understand that an educated customer is their best customer. And they don't teach this stuff in school. You know, trade shows. I mean, I've been polling people with marketing degrees for the last 20 years. 2% of college graduates with marketing degrees got an hour or more of exhibiting in their curriculum. So use this content. We put it here for one reason, for you, to help you succeed. And by the way, look at the webinars that are up there. Driving qualified booth traffic, inside the numbers, how to measure, how to make your exhibit stand out from the crowd, Secrets of the Aisles, which is an exhibit staff training module, and how to improve lead quality and sales conversion. This is heavy duty stuff we're giving you here. Do not try to sit down and do all this in one setting. Go back to and address the factors right along the timeline we've given you here, and you will be absolutely amazed at the results you get from the show. Now, we got one more piece of the puzzle, which is absolutely going to blow your mind. We are doing a seminar at the show. I will be there, and my team of trade show experts, most of which who are certified trade show marketers, CTSM. We're going to do a session on October 16th, and we're going to be on the show floor, and we're going to visit your booth in action, and we're going to do a 21-point expert evaluation. Scoring your exhibit on 21 factors. We're going to give you a 5-page report with photographs, scoring, comments, and direct recommendations on what you can change. And if we see anything that we think you can change right now at the show, we'll point it out. And then, so this is another piece of it. You're going to basically have a tenured trade show expert come visit you in action. And we're not critics. We're not judges. We are lights. We want to spotlight what you're doing well so you can keep doing it. And we want to spotlight where your areas of improvement are and guide you on how to make the improvements. This is a program, if you've exhibited at any shows anywhere over your history, you'll realize you've never seen a program like this before. And that's the investment that the ABC Kids Expo is making in you. I promise you, this program is not cheap. They are making a heavy-duty investment because they care about you and they want you to succeed. But here's the thing. We can put all of the resources in the world in front of you, but you got to use them. You got to engage. Do the exercises. Download the tools. Engage with the evaluation. Make the adjustments. And there will come a day, I promise you, when you'll look back and go, what a difference a trade show can make in my life and my business. And that's what we're working on here. So Irene, come back. Since we've got a fair amount of new exhibitors here, give us a little bit of inside information, some things that exhibitors really need to keep top of the mind as they think about their ABC Kids Expo exhibit.
Thank you, Jefferson. I will. Well, in 2016, you can see we had over 900 exhibiting companies, over 11,000 attendees from over 79 different countries. There is approximately 1 million square feet in exhibit space, so we've got plenty of room for everyone. We have been in the Executives Gold 100 Trade Show for 8 years now, and also in Trade Show News Network's Top 250 in 2016. We're very proud of all those numbers. And take a look who attends the ABC Kids Expo. Buyers, over 4,000 last year. Sales representatives, over 500. Retail stores, over 2,000. Media, over 400. And media companies, over 100. Government companies, specialty services, and most importantly, you, our exhibitors. So we are very proud of the attendance that we get and the exposure that we get at this show.
Irene, it's Jefferson. Let me add something here. What I want all exhibitors on this webinar to pay careful attention to. Most shows kind of just give you round numbers. They'll go, they'll say we had 12,000 attendees at our show. But ABC Kids Expo does intense visitor demographics. These are exact numbers, okay? The show profile of the last show. And so when you go in, you start looking at this, there's over 2,000, right? Retail stores that are at the ABC Kids Expo. Where else could you go, right, between those dates in October and get face to face with that many retail stores and almost over 4,700 buyers, 79 countries too. If you're looking to really expand your brand internationally, buyers are coming from 79 countries. And look at the media. There's going to be 400, there were over 430 media representatives. So to really get PR and recognition out there, this is an incredible opportunity for you guys. And I always love when show organizers are transparent with their numbers, like ABC Kids Expo. It says a lot about the integrity, and it says a lot about the credibility of the organization behind the show. Okay, so back to you, Irene. What do attendees want when they come to ABC Kids Expo?
Well, they want to see new products and developments. So if you go to our exhibitor page on the exhibitors tab on the web page and you go under new products showcase, you have an opportunity. If your company has a new product that they would like to showcase at this show, you have an opportunity to do so. So if you go to that new product showcase tab, you'll find out everything you need to get your product into this category. This category can also be included, your product could actually be included in an award ceremony. It could be voted on and actually awarded at our industry party the first night after the show. So if this is something you're interested in and your company wants to showcase some new products or developments, make sure that you take advantage of the new product showcase at the show. They want people that are focused and have relevant and informative pre-show communications to help them plan their visit and experience. Again, if you go to the Exhibitors tab on the web page and go under Advertising, we can help with that. We have pre-show marketing that's available. You have a contact of Deanna who could help coordinate that for you. We have targeted event action mailers or official e-letters that can go out with your company's information. And you can also upgrade your technology package to get into a featured exhibitor package for $495. This allows you to have more visibility at the show, doing little videos and images and text about your show or about your booth and your products at the show. They want information and interactions on site that allow them to better understand and easily compare products and services. So when you're interacting with your attendees, make sure that everything you discuss is something that will kind of just make your product pop or shine. Interactive displays and presentations showing products in the retail setting, demonstrating quality and sellability.
Yeah, Irene, you know what I want to add to that? When you are selling to retail buyers, one of the best things you can do in your exhibit is to recreate the in-store or the point of sale experience. The better you will help buyers visualize how to merchandise your products in their stores, the easier it will be for them to make the buying decision. And when buyers are looking at bringing a product into their store, there's a few major questions in their mind. Jot these down. Here's the first question. Number one, does this fit my buyer profile, my customer profile? Number two, does it either contribute to a category or does it fill a category gap in my merchandising mix? Number three, will it sell? Number four, what do you, the supplier, do to help me sell it? And number five, can I make money from it? And those are really the 5 questions that are in the mind of a retail buyer as they're navigating the large ABC Kids Expo hall, trying to determine what booths to visit and what companies to give their business to. Okay, so back to you, Irene. So how do the attendees behave? What do we need to know about attendee behavior?
All right. Well, they tend to plan ahead. They set agendas and visit booths with products and services that support their current and future interests and needs. They look forward to on-hands interactive experiences, and they have a low tolerance for promotions and exhibits that have no sizzle and no substance, or all sizzle and no substance. So make sure that you're promoting something that's real or essential, the most real and essential parts of your product. State the facts about your product and its relevance. So if you're promoting a product, talk about how the industry has taken to it so far. Have some customer feedback so that there's relevance behind the product that you're selling. They want something new and innovative in the market, and if you have it, make sure you bring everything that you can to show it while you're at the show.
Yeah, let me add to that, Irene. You said something really important there. NEW, new. The number one reason why the buyers hit the show floor and what they're looking for on the show floor is what's new. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see exhibitors making is they'll have a new product in their booth, and the only person who can tell by looking at the booth that it's new is the exhibitor. So if you have a new product, scream it from the top of the mountain. It's like a magnet in terms of drawing buyers to your booth. New. Lead with new. Okay? All right. Tell us a little bit about some of the free marketing stuff that's available for exhibitors to really get that visibility up.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to share this information for you. There are several ways for you to market yourself. I want to emphasize the free ways to emphasize the products that you're willing to showcase at our show. We have a company listing that's printed. It's a show directory. You could either have a show directory or a thumb drive. That'll be available to you at the show. The online floor plan, when you go into your confirmed exhibitor login, you'll be able to see the online floor plan. We'll have on-site kiosks, stations throughout the show, so people can quickly go to a kiosk. It'll be touchscreen. They'll be able to touch and key in an exhibitor they want to see or see the floor plan and be able to know where you're located. Access to the media center. The media center is going to be an opportunity for you to bring your very expensive brochures that you make up for the products that you are trying to exhibit, and or thumb drives of your company story and products. This is going to be an area that's going to be called the media center. You're going to be able to bring either your brochures or your thumb drives and drop them off. You're going to be able to just put them in one little area, and the media and registrants and buyers will be going in there and looking at those brochures and thumb drives and taking what they need. So don't be discouraged. They may not have gotten to your booth right away, but they might have gotten something at the media center that directs them to your booth. We have downloaded Excel files containing confirmed buyers, confirmed representatives, and confirmed media attendees. Again, at the confirmed exhibitor login, you will have access to all the representatives' names, company names, and phone numbers. So that'll be at your fingertips at the end of the show. And also, we want to tell you, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I wanted to add, Irene? One of the most powerful marketing opportunities for every exhibitor, and I think the most overlooked, is your company listing. The way you write your listing. I have looked at hundreds and hundreds of these, and most of them feel like we just copied them off a brochure and entered them. Give careful thought to the language you include in your company listing, your description. Most attendees will make their decision as they're planning their agenda what booths they want to visit based on the copy in your listing. Don't just tell them what you do. Give them a reason to visit your booth in your listing. And in fact, we just wrote a brand new article that was on my blog too, and we posted it up on the Exhibitor Success and ROI Center called How to Rewrite Your Exhibitor Listing to Drive Booth Traffic. Go read it, follow the model that's in there. The action you want the buyer to take when they read your listing is to add your booth to their show agenda. So be sure to grab that. Sorry for interrupting. Back to you, but I had to get that in there. Thanks, Irene.
No, that's good. But also view the driving qualified booth traffic, how to attract enough of the right attendees to your ABC Kids Expo exhibit. The webinar is a replay located on the Exhibitor Success and ROI Center webpage. So again, take a look at the Exhibitor Success and ROI Center under the Exhibitors tab at the very bottom. You're going to get a lot of good, useful information. Watch some of the webinar replays to make your show as successful as it possibly can. We have some other suggestions for the first-time exhibitors. We want to make sure that you use the Exhibitor Services webpage. Again, you'll find that under the Exhibitors tab. It's called Exhibitor Services. If you click on that tab, you'll be able to see the if you need electrical, how to build your booth. You're going to have the general services contractor, Fern, there. You're going to have the Cox Business people for telephone and internet, FedEx, Kinko's, Centerplate for food, your liability insurance. There's going to be some useful information under that Exhibitor Services tab, so make sure that you pay attention and plan ahead. Use pre-show marketing. Target the right audience for your product and services. Promote with the free and or paid marketing opportunities. You're going to have an opportunity to actually list show specials. So later on, we'll be sending you an e-blast and an email to let us know what you want the attendees to know about the promotions you'll be giving at the show. So make these at show specials only. So when they come to the show, you can say, we're going to be offering a 10% discount, or we're going to have free shipping, if you order from our show. Make sure that your advertisements have either percentages, dollar amounts, or say free. That way they know to come to your show. If you put something general like come to our booth for show specials, well, that's not going to attract too many people. But if you put a concrete percentage, number, or free on there, well, now they're going to know what they get before they come. It'll entice them to come to your booth. Pay careful attention to deadlines. When possible, place your orders in advance. By doing this, you can maximize your budget, reduce costs, and increase marketing exposure. When we say pay attention to deadlines, you will get your exhibitor's kit in the next couple of weeks to start building your booth, and along with a whole bunch of other things that you can get in this exhibitor's kit. Pay attention to the deadlines. There's some that are in September. If you get things ahead of time, you get a certain price. It's a come here early price, or after the deadline, it kind of goes up. So please be aware of all deadlines. Use the free online exhibitor education resources. Use the downloadable tools to manage your trade show programs. Jefferson has put a really good schedule together and forms together on his website to make sure that you're tracking and monitoring everything that you could possibly be doing at the show. Keep your contact information current and call ABC Kids Expo staff with any questions. We're here to help you, so please use that phone number, and we'd be more than happy to take care of you.
All right. Thank you, Irene. This is a great time for everybody logged in to catch your breath. I know Irene and I have thrown a lot at you really quick here, but any questions that have flashed into your mind, now would be a good time to go to your questions tab, type your question, and press send. And what we'll do, I'm going to come back to the queue in a few minutes because we've got just a little bit more content we want to cover. And please remember this, two things. There's no such thing as a dumb question, one. And two, the questions don't have to stop here. You can reach out to your ABC team at any time. You can reach me through the Ask the Trade Show Experts email Q&A on the Exhibitor Success and ROI Center. Okay, so let me kind of work on the back end of this. Sometimes the fastest way to succeed is just to avoid the mistakes that most exhibitors make. And with 30 years exhibiting experience, I want to point out what I've seen as some of the big mistakes that really limit the value that we get from shows. Number one, as Irene mentioned, read the exhibitor service kit. Every cost overrun, every headache, every hassle that you're likely to experience is probably avoided by reading the kit. I know it takes a little bit of time. It is a must-read document, end to end, and make sure that you pull the forms that apply to you and make sure that you pad the dates. Don't wait until the deadline date to deal with a form. Give yourself a few days advance notice. Number two, um, unrealistic expectations. Going into the show in a 10 by 10 booth and thinking, oh, I'm going to write 500 orders. What you'll learn through the webinars and the planning tools we've given you is that there is a formula that will determine how many interactions you can handle, how many of those might convert to a sale, how many of those might convert to a lead, and ultimately what return on investment you can expect. So you've got to keep your expectations in line with reality. You can't do more than what your exhibit interaction capacity allows you to do. Number three, all of you have reasons. I'll guarantee you, if I got on the phone with any one of you and asked you, why are you exhibiting? You would give me a reason, maybe two or three of them. I would press you on goals. If you might say, I might say, why are you exhibiting? You might say, to get some leads. I would go, that's a reason. It's not a goal. If you told me to capture at least 50 qualified leads by closing time, now I know you've got your game face on. Okay, you have to convert reasons to goals and back them up with written action plans. Number four, do not exhibit by hope. What I mean by that is rent space, roll your booth out there, show up, and hope. Hope that enough buyers pass your booth. Hope that they notice your booth. Hope that they see something that makes them want to stop. There's a strategy I use with my clients that I call winning the game before kickoff. And we do that by pre-marketing, so we are in the mind and on the agenda of enough of the right buyers before we get to the show. This is how you win the game before kickoff. Your exhibit, okay? Not only is it going to determine whether they see it or stop, but it also is the brand extension of your identity. And I know there's a lot of startups in here, and there's different types of what we might call mom and pop type businesses, but you've got to have a professional exhibit. That exhibit has to grab attention. It's got to answer what you do, why they should care, and who you are. It has to support your brand identity. And so that's why we're going to be at the show for new exhibitors doing the new exhibitor effectiveness evaluation. We want to give you any and everything we can do to make sure that you've got an exhibit that works. There is an art and there is a science to it. And we're going to share everything we know about building effective exhibits with you. Number six, you've got to really think carefully about how you're displaying, presenting, and engaging visitors with your products. The Center for Exhibition Industry Research did a study and found the number one way that buyers want to engage with exhibitors on show floors is through interactive presentations and demonstrations. They want to do more than they can do on your website. So bring your products, get them set up, let them touch, feel, push buttons, engage, total immersion with your products. You can do all those first six things right, but if your booth staff you don't have staff in your booth, it's empty, there's only one of you in the booth, when you get tied up, you can't talk to other buyers, your staff looks and acts like they don't want to be there, they sit over in the corner with a sandwich in one hand and a cell phone with the other, if they're over aggressive, if they're passive, any of these behaviors will cause visitors to pass right by your booth. And in a big show like ABC Kids Expo, I wouldn't count on a second pass. So you got to make sure that you have enough people, they're trained for the environment, they're looking and acting like they want to be there, they're standing up, smiling and greeting people as they get near your space. You got to have your booth staff. Your people will make or break your success. Trade shows are about face, and only your people can manage that part of it. Number 8, tearing down before the show closes. Not only is it against show regulations, and could cause you to be uninvited to the next show, but it's disrespectful to the exhibitors around you. And worse yet, I have seen some of the most powerful buyers on the show floor late in the day and toward the end of the show. If the show hours are 9 to 5, they're 9 to 5. That doesn't mean it's 9:15 to 4:30. Keep your booth open during all open exhibit hours. Number 9, remember, whatever leads you get, whatever sales you get on the show floor are the tip of the iceberg. Capture leads and follow up. Typically, your post-show sales from leads can triple the at-show sales if you have a good lead management process. And number 10, a lack of time perspective in when you evaluate whether the show was a success or failure for you. My first rule for all of you new exhibitors in the show is I don't think there's any practical, prudent, realistic, productive way that you're going to be able to judge the ultimate value of this show from one attempt. I encourage you to make at least a 3-show commitment. Ask any exhibitor who's been in the show for multiple years. Many of them will tell you the watershed event seemed to be at year 3. So don't quit early. Commit, use the tools, learn from the experience, get better next year. Year 3, the results you'll get will blow your mind. So learn from the show, stay committed. Have enough staff so you can get out and walk the show and look at exhibitors and notice booths that are packed with buyers and pay attention to what they're doing. If you can get into the educational sessions and you have enough staff, do it. Be where the buyers are. Don't go just have dinner with your staff in the evening. Go to the social events. Go to the networking events. Be where the buyers are, okay? And put together a post-show report, which we've given you a tool to do so, which is the value ROI and measurement tool, and find the lessons. Look for what are 3 things that I can do better at my next show so I get even better results. And just remember this, success takes time. You know, the myth of the overnight success is highly overrated. If you're continue to learn, if you're committed, if you partner with ABC, if you use the resources that we're giving you, you will ultimately get what you want from this show. But just remember, it takes time. Okay? So let's wind this down. The opportunities in front of you. This is an incredible marketing and sales op if you do it properly. ABC is going to give you the resources, the knowledge, the support, and the access to the market to be as successful as you want to be. Okay? Knowledge is not power. Only action is power. So take everything that we're giving you, what you've heard in this webinar, all those resources, use them. Okay? And if you will, right, there will come a day, actually I can begin to close this web briefing not by wishing you success. If you will partner with ABC for the long term, use the resources. I'm not going to wish you success. I'm going to virtually guarantee that your success happens. But you got to do your part, okay? So with that, Irene, I'm going to take a look in the question queue. And while I do, are there any additions or closing comments or anything you want to share while I'm looking at our questions? And we have a lot of questions.
Yay! Well, yes, there are. There's something that I would like to say. Our goal here at the ABC Kids Expo is to help guide you through the process and develop a partnership as a resource for a successful show in the form of education, visibility, and contacts. We are here for you, and let us know what we can do to help you. If you have any questions on the stuff that we discussed today, please reach out to your exhibit account manager. They're eager to help and guide you through the process.
All right, thank you. We've got several questions here. Let me start firing away. So the first question, Irene, would be, when will our exhibitor logins be available?
Good question. Well, they were supposed to be available today, but we had some behind the scenes web issues, so we will have them up and live hopefully by next Friday.
By next Friday, okay. Thank you. The next question would be, I'm thinking this is the same question. When will the username and password be available for confirmed exhibitor login? That's the same question. Okay. Next one. When you mentioned you can download Excel files containing the confirmed buyers, reps, and media, where do I find this?
That will be available on the confirmed exhibitor login once it's up and running.
Okay, you'll be able to find that on your login. Excellent. Someone's asking, what is the difference between a buyer, the way your demographics are reported, a buyer versus a sales rep versus retail stores?
Well, sales reps come to shows to kind of look at they're basically all the same. They're just titled differently. So a company might send their sales reps to see they're out in the market seeing what sells for their company. So they might be sending a sales rep that's going to go out there and see. They might not have a buyer in their location, or they might not have a what was the other one? The retailer, the buyer,
And stores, yeah. So I think that is that you have 4,700 buyers from, it looked like, about 2,100 stores. So a store is a individual retail store. So maybe they have multiple buyers that are managing different categories within the store. Yeah?
Correct. And then the sales reps are the ones that actually go out into the market and see what their stores need to make them marketable and to sell. So they're more in the sales arena. The buyers are actually the ones buying, and the retailers are the big stores that are saying, what can we bring to our Targets, to our Kohl's, to our Amazon to put on our websites.
Okay, thank you. And then we've got a question on, are there any invention connection specific pointers or suggestions that you can make? Invention connection.
Well, the only thing on Invention Connection is, just make sure that it hasn't been sold or in the market since January of this year, or at least they want it really from October of last year. So they want to make sure that you haven't sold the product to anywhere in the market, at least for this year, January to the show. So those are the only pointers that I have on that. Just make sure that it hasn't been seen anywhere, and then make sure your product shines. Make sure it's something that is revolutionary to the industry.
Okay, yeah, you know what? We're getting several questions on the invention connection. So I'm thinking, Irene, as a footnote, you may want to circle the wagons after the webinar and come up with, some form of a briefing sheet that kind of gives them instructions on the who, the what, the whys, and the hows, because we've got several questions on the invention connection. So that's, and rather than try to deal with them all here, I think we'll put together some form of a briefing or an email or a document to let everybody know more about invention connection. There's a lot of interest on this webinar in that product. Let me see what else.
Absolutely.
Okay, when is the At Show Exhibitor Seminar? That will be from 3:30 to 5 p.m. at the Las Vegas Convention Center. The specific room has not yet been announced, but mark your calendars, 3:30 to 5 p.m. On the 16th, the last setup day in the afternoon. Okay, let me see. Staff behaviors. Do you have any documentation ideas on training your staff? I have dozens. Rather than go into them here in a Q&A, I'm going to ask you to go view the webinar replay called Secrets of the Aisles. It is a 60-minute on-demand webinar, which is really an exhibit staff training module. So for all exhibitors wanting to improve staff performance, ask all of your booth staff to view Secrets of the Aisles, which is on the ABC Exhibitor Success and ROI Center. Let me see, what's next? This is a long question. I'll try to decipher this for you, Irene. They're asking, we have some difficulties finding a clear categories map. We were asked which category would be better for us, but for making this decision, we need to be sure that the most products in our category will choose. They're saying, for example, we'll present a new baby stroller and a tricycle 2-in-1, but we can't really understand what category we should put that in. I'm going to ask the exhibitor who asked that question for you to reach out by telephone or email to contact your account exec and take that up in a one-to-one. That's a complex question, and I think that is best addressed in a one-to-one with your account exec. Let's see, next. Do you guys know exactly when Fern, the general service contractor, will release the exhibit service kit?
Yes, that'll be in the next 2 weeks, so by the end of July.
Within the next 2 weeks. Okay, cool. When will the advertising and sponsorship packages be available?
That is available now. All you have to do is call Deanna. She's on the advertising contact sheet of this WebEx, which will be made available on the Exhibitor Success and Exhibitor ROI Center. Probably, when is it? Tomorrow, Jefferson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll have that available on that slide, and you can just call Deanna whenever you would like and get that set up.
All right, thank you. How much time would you plan for setting up a 10x10 booth?
Oh, that is a good question. This is my first year to the show, and I could actually get that answer for you from Fern. So if you want to send me who that person was, and I'll get them that information personally.
Okay. For the person who asked the question, you know, it's really going to come down to how elaborate your exhibit property is. I mean, if you're going to hang banners off the pipe and drape, that's one thing. But if you've got a custom exhibit, that's another thing. If you have a pop-up fabric exhibit, it might take you 30 to 45 minutes to actually set your exhibit up. And then it's just a matter of setting up your product displays. So I would plan on, just to be safe as a starting point, I would budget 2 to 3 hours of setup time just to be safe. It may take less than that. I don't know that it would take more for a 10x10 booth, 2 to 3. Irene, here's a question. Do these type of buyers, do they usually make appointments, or is it more just like walk the show floor and fall into the booths at random?
You know, it really is both. Some do make appointments only, and then there's the majority of them, they just walk around and they want to see what's out there. They're looking for the new and revolutionary ideas for the, Christmas and the first quarter of the following year.
Okay, thank you. I've got another question here. I'm not able to access the showroom map. Where do I find that?
The map is not available yet. Again, that'll be something that'll be ready by the end of the month, by the end of July.
Okay, another question around booth numbers. When will we receive our booth number?
That will be at the end of the month. That's when the web floor plan is scheduled to come out, and you should have your assigned booth number then.
Okay, thank you. Here's an interesting question. We've received notifications that we've been added to attendees' show schedules. So the attendees putting the exhibitor on their planner. Should we reach out to them by email before the show, or just look for them during the show?
Oh, you're more than welcome to reach out to them before the show if you'd like to.
You know, my advice would be also don't become a pest, but certainly reminding them that they put you on their show planner as you get closer to the show. I think that's a really good idea. Let me see. I think that's about it. I'm looking. Oh, final question. And feel free to add on to this one, Irene, also. What does a small business have to do to be able to stand with the big players? Well, here's the thing. You're not going to be able to outspend them. You might be able to outsmart them. You might be able to out promote them, and you might have a better product. So my advice for a small exhibitor is analyze your products and figure out what your area of superiority is, or your strength. What makes your products different? That would be my first suggestion. Make sure you visually communicate that in your pre-marketing and your exhibit graphics, number one. Number two, do a really highly targeted pre-show marketing campaign to get in the mind and on the agenda of the right buyers. Again, you're not going to be able to outspend them, but you can outsmart them and you can out promote them by being very targeted in your promotions. Okay, and here we go. One more question has come in, and I think this will be all we'll have time for, but the conversation can continue for sure. Here we go. Can I have my own suppliers, or do I have to use the official suppliers for the booth assembly?
You have to use the official suppliers for the booth assembly.
All right. Well, wow, what a session. Tremendous turnout. Irene, great job on really giving exhibitors the inside look at ABC. I want to thank everybody, for being a new exhibitor in the ABC Kids Expo. And remember, the most important thing here is it's not what you heard today here that matters. It's going to be what you do. You've got an incredible support team at ABC Kids Expo. View them as your marketing partners. Pick up the phone, call, talk to them. They will help you succeed. And most importantly, watch your emails for these exercises, download the tools. And we are so excited and can't wait to see you. October will be here before you know it, and we will be seeing you at the Expo. So on behalf of everyone at the ABC Kids Expo and my company here, Competitive Edge, welcome aboard. Get ready for a incredible journey over the next few years with us. And we look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks for logging in, everybody.